What's up, everyone? It's your boy Infrar-Ed. Welcome to the Scout Reports. Today I'm bringing you an anime review of Drifters, episode 11. Another episode, another setup, another 20 minutes of planning and planning and planning and planning and planning and nothing is happening. Oh man, I'm doing a review for Drifters this week because I'll be honest with you guys, it was beginning to become a little bit of a drag to do live reactions for it because it's so exposition heavy. I mean, they give you a little bit of moments of hype. They always put one or two things in there to make it worth your while for watching the episode. But overall, I have to say that Drifters, as far as the stuff that I'm covering, is not bad enough to drop, but it has definitely been my least favorite series out of the fall season that I'm watching. It's like every episode has been exactly the same, and I feel like this series has hit its peak after probably like episode 3 or 4, whichever episode it was when the pilot showed up. It seemed like that was the best that we were going to get. I mean, they pumped it up to be this big action series, and we're not getting anything out of it. In this episode, again, I do like and respect Rando's work, and I like the planning and everything that they're putting into this, but I didn't expect to have so much to it, which makes me wonder how things are in the manga, because I know the manga isn't finished, so maybe, I don't know how to call it. I never read the manga before, so if the manga is exactly the same, I don't know what to really think about this episode or this series in general, and that's why I didn't even do last week. Besides being busy, I kind of looked at it once I saw how backed up I was, and I was like, you know what, I think I'll be okay if I skip Drifters, because I felt like we didn't miss anything anyway. And damn it, can we finally get to Drifters versus the end? The way this episode went, I don't think we're gonna get that at all. I mean, where do we go from here? I don't know. We don't even have a valid episode count for this series, but I'm assuming it's 13, because the way this episode ended, it's just going to be a Drifters versus some goons, so I don't think that's the way that they want to end the season off. I don't know. We'll just have to see how it goes, but let's get into the episode and some of the things that happen. So in this episode, Jeremy is actually planning to stage a coup on Orta, or Vermilion, or whatever the name of the city is. I'm sorry if this is a bad review, it's just how I feel about Drifters right now. But anyway, he is planning a coup with the city by taking the Drifters into it, and then they're just going to take over from there, because they are constantly going around trying to build their power in order to build up this army to go against the Black King. And they took a little bit of time out for him to actually tell each one of the Drifters, you know, Toyohisha and crew, what happens to them afterwards. So not what happens to them, but what happens to the people that they were aligned with after they died, because, you know, he's a Drifter himself. He just died many years after them, at least long enough to tell them that each one of these individuals are a part of history. So it was pretty cool to see that as well, because they were wondering what happened, because these guys were pulled into this universe right before they died. So to get somebody that died a little bit later in life, it was pretty cool for them to find out who they are, and everybody's like, oh, you guys are legends, you guys are heroic, and Oda's like, ha ha ha, what about me? And he was like, oh, you were just an asshole. So that was pretty funny too, and you know how the comedy is for Drifters right about now. However, this plan for this coup didn't go as well as they expected, because the Black King actually had Rasputin there, and what Rasputin was doing is he had control, like a puppet master, of all the higher ups in this country that was inside this room, and they already had soldiers there to try to ambush the Drifters when they got there. Luckily, Toyo was just too much of a beast and was able to take them out anyway, and Rasputin had to retreat after that. But the Black King had a plan of his own. He's basically just trying to stop the Drifters from getting more power. He just wants destruction no matter how it happens. So he tells Rasputin to go back, take this army, and destroy the city. Destroy as much of it as you can. I don't care how many people have to die. I don't care how many people you have to kill to achieve this goal to stop these Drifters, because the more people you kill, the less people they can get to build their army, because we've already seen that with the elves and the dwarves and the people in this city that they're building up to get. They're just going around liberating people and building their army. But the Black King is like, if you kill them all, then they can't get any stronger. That's a pretty devious plan, I have to admit. So that's what's going on with that. The Drifters are now gearing up for this battle with Rasputin, and I forgot the other guy with the sword's name, who is coming with him as well to try to take out the Drifters. Something that also happened is, hey, we got guns now. The dwarves were able to build muskets. They got about 100 of them, and they were also able to build a shotgun. So that was pretty cool to see. And the drifters are now going to be split off into teams, and each one of the drifters are going to be in charge of leading one of the corps. Like Oda is going to take the musketeers, Toyo is going to take the dwarves because they're the foot soldiers, they're the ones that's going to be doing the dirty work, and Yoichi is going to take the elves and be the archer unit. So they're going to go in. These goons are storming a castle. And one part that I really did like about the episode when they were shooting the muskets is how they were scared. They don't know what these things can do. They don't know the power that they have. But at the same time, you have this mob of people running towards you. And Nobunaga's just like, hold, wait, just waiting to let these soldiers get closer and closer. And then when they finally got through, he told them to fire, and then they saw the destructive force, and everybody was so amazed by how much power it had, and it was just ripping through everybody. It ripped through them all in a line. Plus, you have to take in consideration how much time it takes to reload a musket, so every shot must count. They couldn't have them shooting too early, and then these guys are still running at you. It's better to let them get closer to you and do as much damage as you can, so they still have to have time for other people to come and for you to reload. So I really like that they put that in. That would be the real Battlefield 1. Just give you a shooting game with a musket. Imagine that. You would have to take cover for days. Well, not days, but you know, you have to take cover forever in order to recover from that. That's getting off the subject, but that was a nice point. That was probably my favorite point of the episode. However, that was not only my favorite part of the episode, that's really all I got for you guys. That was really it. Besides exposition, we just got that very last part at the end, which makes me wonder, is this going to be 12 or 13 Fs? Because that would be kind of bad if the last episode is just going to be drifters against some fodder, given that two ends are out there on the field. But I don't think I've ever mentioned this before, so I want to now, just in case I didn't. I really do like the ending to this series. The theme, it reminds me of like the late 90s, mid 90s, early 2000s type of anime, how that song goes. I really like that a lot, so I wanted to give props to that too. And once again, I asked the question at the top of the video, where do we go from here? Because if that's going to be the ending, just the drifters against like these fodder characters that we know they're going to run through, now I'm going to be really disappointed in this series, and it's just going to keep going down more and more. I don't even know what I would do. I'll probably just rip this series to shreds. I mean, people are giving Berserk a hard fucking time, but hell, at least Berserk still had a good story, barring animation aside. But also, you know what, coming into this, I mean, I know it's Harano's work, and I didn't expect this to surpass Hellsing or be better than Hellsing, but I damn sure expected it to be better than it is. So that's how I'm feeling about Drifters right now, guys. There'll be another review for it next week. So, guys, if you like this video, go ahead and drop it a like. And if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as there's not a shortage of content for you guys to indulge on this channel. And as I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me. I really appreciate that, so thanks for stopping by. Definitely let me know what you think about Drifters this episode, and how you feel about the series overall. I will catch you guys later. On that note, it's your boy Infrar-Ed signing out. See you soon.